everyone, Will here from Mature Minded Gamers, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Dungeon Tiles 1. This is from WizKids. It's part of their 4D tile set, Warlock. It basically uses the Dragon Lock system for like the 3D printing world. I do have the Ender 3 that I've printed many tiles on, as well as have the Anycubic Photon. And, I thought, man, I'm printing all these tiles, take forever, then I got to go through and paint them. How does this really compare to, the 3D printed version? Should you go ahead and just invest in a 3D printer? We're going to go ahead and dive into this set and see, is this worth the $100 that this costs? You can probably get it a little bit cheaper on Amazon. But does this really, is the value there? And that's kind of what we want to show you guys today. If the value is going to be there for either buying a 3D printer, doing it on your own, if you want to explore into that hobby, or should you just go ahead and pick up a couple of these boxes if you are wanting to make your own dungeons? So let's go ahead and dive into this box, see what this consists of. We'll grab a couple of the Dragon Lock tiles that I have 3D printed on my Ender, kind of compare how they're set up and everything, and see if it has a value to it or not. All right, they should just slide right out in this slipcase. There we go. Got Dungeon Tiles 1, got a slipcase for it here. And we're going to go ahead and dive right in as soon as I get all the plastic unlocked here. All right. So, okay, there's actually a decent amount here of tiles. Looks like these are going to be the low walls. The coloring looks pretty good. Looks more like, be honest with you, a base coat and then a wash. So not really anything that, to write home about as far as like in the coloring or anything or the paint job. It's okay. It's not horrible. I mean, obviously it would save you a bunch of time as well. So we've got the wood steps here, and this is actually really cool. You got the wood floor. So you actually have a double-sided options for tiles. So you're not just looking at printing a tile that's going to be just cobble, and then you have to print another one that's just going to be the wood aesthetic. That's actually cool that it's double-sided like that. So you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So it looks like, by my count, there's 26 floor tiles. Yeah. So, and that's the 2x2s, 26 of the 2x2s. You get 2 of the 4x4s, so 1, 2, 3, 4. So if you play Dungeons and Dragons, again, double-sided is actually pretty nice. Little advertisement there. You get, so we'll take a look at those doors in a second. It did say it has a 2x8 in here somewhere. And, I am not seeing 2x8 unless, yep, it's underneath these walls. You get quite a few of these low walls, which is nice. Pretty nice there. There we go. 2 of the 2x8s for good for hallways. Again, double-sided. These are pretty good, actually, as far as, that's good quality plastic. That's, you're going to have to really get into that if you want that to bend or crack or anything. You got some corner pieces. Looks like you get 8. No, excuse me. You get 10 of the corners. If I could count, that'd be great. You get some corners. These looks like the columns. Again, paint job is okay. I'm kind of looking forward to seeing the doors. Let's take a look at those. Alrighty. Good paint job on that. Looks just like the flooring, though. Let's see, does the door pop? It does. So this is actually pretty cool. You could definitely 3D print a hinge. You're going to have to figure out a way to pin it and stuff. But if you notice, it's got a little, they've actually done a good job as making it here. And that swings all the way open. Or pops right out and didn't break it, but it didn't close the easiest. So you got to be careful about that. Okay, so, these doors, they're all right. I think I'd be worried about, I think the pinning would actually be a better option. So, I don't know. We'll take a look at that. Probably just broke the door. So, obviously, be careful when you close your door. Nope, not broken, just the plastic is warped now. So that's good to know. Be careful about pushing the doors and closing them. You could bust your doors. So interesting. $100, not the best quality of hinges. You'd kind of think that those would be a little bit better constructed. Yeah, actually might have to go ahead and pin those anyway. So again, you get 1, 2, 3, 4, and then a couple of these bigger doors, a couple smaller doors. These ones don't have hinges. Essentially, you're going to take these dragon lock pieces, these little clips, and you're going to push them into the sides here. You're going to, just make sure you give them a good push, and then push those pieces together. And then you've really got to give it a good squeeze, and you're going to get them to be able to go in together, different orientations and what have you. And then when it comes to like these doors, how it works is these just kind of slot in between them like this. So, you can just push the door inside, kind of make a system. And then you're going to do the same thing with like the walls. So you're going to take like a wall piece and you'll just clip it onto the wall as well. And just continue building your dungeon room after room after room. So how does this compare to like the Dragon Lock system that you can like 3D print? Let's grab a tile real quick and I'll kind of show you like the doors you can make as well as the tiles. Now this was printed on an Ender 3. Took about, if I remember correctly, it was around 3 hours. I could be wrong, give or take. But this is the quality that my Ender 3 produces. Not bad, not horrible. It hasn't been primed or anything like I was saying. But then you also have these doors that kind of would just sit on top. Now, they all do make other like doors and stuff that you can get, and that you can get them to socket and stuff. But this is kind of what I was working on. And I found that I was printing it and printing and printing and printing. And I was like, I'm not like excited about what I was doing. I was like just making tiles. I was like, gosh, this is going to take forever. And I'm not like really super excited about what's going on. So that's when I decided to go ahead and give these a shot and see what I can come up with. The other thing that I actually just noticed is these clips actually work. Let's grab another tile here and use the clips that came with the WizKids system. And let's see how that goes together. They work. It works okay. It doesn't. These clips, I think, you could definitely tell that these are specifically designed for their system. So it's kind of popping a little bit here. So I mean, I haven't 3D printed any of the clips yet or anything, but I mean they go in there pretty well. Just really, I guess maybe that corner. Let's see. This doesn't want to stay in. So, I mean, these do interchange and are interlockable. Maybe just this piece had an issue in the print or something. It goes into like this one pretty well. So let's take a floor from, let's grab one of the big ones. Let's see how well it works together. See if I can take my existing tiles and interchange it and add to it. There we go. It just one it keeps popping out. It doesn't want to actually stay in there. So yeah, I don't know. To be honest with you, I don't know how I feel about this right now. I'm kind of curious on if this is supposed to be all compatible. These clips for this system, I mean, they're good. It's in there. But when I take from my other Dragon Lock 3D printed pieces and I snap it in there, looks okay. It works. It's functional. I mean, obviously when I paint it and everything. So, I mean, it is compatible. It's staying in there pretty good. Obviously, you've got now I shook it a little bit. You got a little bit of a gap, but that's not that big of a deal. Once you kind of get it set and the walls in and everything, it's probably going to hold together a lot better. So final verdict on the Dungeon Tiles from WizKids. I think that time versus money, honestly, I think this is probably the easier way to do it. Now, as far as time versus value, I think that the Ender 3 is probably going to be the most versatile with all the other things you can print. But with all the tinkering you've got to do, the buying filament, the running the printer for hours upon hours upon hours upon months to make as many tiles that are in here, plus then going through and painting them. I mean, if you're more into the hobby of, crafting and making stuff, then yeah, get the Ender. If you are just wanting to play Dungeons and Dragons, set up your own dungeons themselves, then Warlock is really, really the way to do it. Now, they have a slew of other sets as well. Now, I picked these up all up from my game store. I got the Town and Village set, which is going to have more of the tavern. You've got an expansion pack, which has more doors and walkways. You've got, let me give you a better shot of that one here. You've got a stairs and ladder set, which gives you be able to elevation and different floors, which I thought was pretty cool. You've got a doors and archways set, which has some pretty cool, just pretty cool, secret door right there. I mean, I just think that's awesome. You got some cell doors, maybe got a sewer grate and everything. I think that's pretty cool. You got a dungeon dressing set here, which is going to give you some benches and treasure chests and bed rolls and just some barrels and, tables and stuff. I thought that was pretty cool. And then last but not least that I procured was the summoning circles. Now what's really cool about these is these light up, have their rune shapes and everything inside. So they do take these little batteries, but I thought that was pretty cool. The only thing I worry about that is the switches on the bottom to turn them on. So I'm like, if I'm going to use them, then I gotta pick up my dungeon, turn them on. I don't want to leave the battery on all the time. But there are a lot of sets here, and the thing is, all this stuff isn't cheap, unfortunately. For all of this, I probably could have bought an Ender 3 and some upgrades for it and stuff, and then printed a whole bunch more stuff. But again, time versus value, it would have taken me months upon months of printing this stuff on an Ender 3 to be able to get everything here, plus then going through and painting it. I think, again, time versus value, wanting to get in and just start playing, setting up a cool dungeon for your friends. This is a very cool idea. I'm glad to see WizKids doing stuff like that. There's just some cool things coming down the pipeline that they're coming out with. So yeah, you've got the Yawning Portal coming out soon, and that's just this 3-dimensional, 3-floor tap room. It's got the portal in the middle. You've got the ship, the big pirate ship. I mean, that thing is pretty massive, epic scale as well. And then you've got this awesome looking bridge. You've got some other cool creatures as well. I mean, it just seems like D&D and WizKids just knocking it out of the park with not only their Dungeons and Dragons line as far as the books and everything, but also giving you the tools to make your story from sitting around the table. I mean, even in today's non-physical world that we're all living in, as far as right now with the advent of Corona and stuff, but they're still giving us these options to be able to sit around with our family, maybe we spend time with all the time, and even playing via camera and Skype and whatever. So got some awesome pieces from Warlock and WizKids. But until next time, everyone stay safe and take care.